Long day of baseball here at Doran Park, a doubleheader with the Gatemen. The Bravos split the games, win the first, fall in the second. I'm Allie Navarrete alongside Cam Manna and Matt Scalzo. Cam, first, let's zoom in on game one. A great day on the mound from Tristan Smith.
Great would be an understatement for Smith. 3 straight unbelievable starts, and this one, could be the best one yet. 5 innings of no-hit baseball for the left-hander. He commanded the zone, 8 strikeouts as well, and that was great to see for the Bravos. They come into a really long day, and it all starts from the get-go, that momentum with the starting pitching. Smith had 8 strikeouts against Hyannis, had a great outing against Katuitt, and then dwindles it over again here against Wareham. So great to see for Smith entering this long stretch, and hopefully he can keep it going in the playoffs.
Bourne Bats also successful in game one, and some new guys were standing out.
Yeah, talking of new, we're going to go with New Contrades, who had his best game so far with the Bravos. Had a couple hits, picked up a couple of RBIs as well. He had his first extra base hit as well, a nice double to right field. But for him, just to see him find that comfortability, not only in the field but also hitting-wise, we've seen that when players show up is, first week is a little up and down for a hitter, but here in this start of the second week and into the end of the regular season, you really want to see people step up, and if New can continue that stretch of good hitting, it'll be big for the Bravos down the road.
Moving on to game two, let's talk about hitting in that one. Braves bats were just not really there, Cam.
Yeah, only 5 hits for the Braves, and I think it starts for what Wareham did well. They had leadoff base runners, they had leadoff guys get on, they continued to hit and get that train rolling. We go back to what Bourne struggled on kind of during this losing streak, these wins, these losses, win like 500 baseball as a whole. Bourne really not putting together those 2 to 3 hits in an inning. They got a double from Foster, a few good swings from Ebelin and Vastine, but not putting it all together once again and getting the leadoff guys on. Bourne loves to put guys on base and steal. When you get only one guy on per inning, it's not enough to keep that train rolling. So the Bourne Bats just died in game 2.
Meanwhile, back to pitching, a start for Gabe Driscoll, a tough top of the second.
Yeah, overall his start wasn't bad, but it's just those 2 innings you look at where he gave up crooked numbers. And in that second inning, gave up a hit to Grant Hussey, and eventually came in a score on a single. But then you get a ground ball that you think is going to be that third out. It turns into an error. You got to face another batter, and that ends up being Corey Morton, who hits a home run. So for Gabe, it's tough to battle back from an inning like that to where it's not completely on you, but you'd love to get that pitch back from Morton. But it's really just a tough pill to swallow as a pitcher, and then the same in the 5th. It wasn't fully on Gabe. He got 2 outs, and then it just kind of spiraled a little bit from there after a couple hits and some errors piled up as well. So pitching wasn't bad, and you got a nice outing from Max LeBlanc at the end, but just 2 bad innings that weren't solely on the pitching.
Now, like I said in the intro, 1-1 today, got the first, didn't get the second. Big picture, Cam, what does this mean for this team right now?
Well, right now, it's plain and simple what Bourne's doing. They're playing 500 baseball. They're winning baseball games, and then they're following that up with losses. We're not seeing that consecutive win streak going for the Braves, and that's tough to see right now, especially the way that Falmouth and Hyannis are playing. Hyannis now over that 20-win mark. They had a close game with Falmouth. We'll have to check that score, but Hyannis was in a really good spot in that second place, 8-1-1 in their last 10. They're playing hot baseball. Bourne's playing 500 at the moment. So for them, entering this final stretch, they're going to start tomorrow against Harwich. They got to put a string of wins together because they're going to see Hyannis again. They're going to see Katuitt. They're going to see Wareham, who plays them very well, and Harwich and Chatham as well, just jammed in between those games. So they want to finish off the regular season hot and get onto some win streaks right now and stop at the wins to losses, because win to loss baseball, you look at 3-game series in the playoffs, that's not going to be the right formula to win series if you're the Braves.
Like Cam mentioned, back at it tomorrow at Harwich at White House Field. Now, the All-Stars saw it on Saturday, but the whole Braves squad hasn't been there in quite some time. We had a lightning delay the last time we were there. I believe Logan Evans was on the mound. Now he's been drafted by the Major League. So that should tell you how long it's been since we've been to Harwich. Matt, what do you want to see the Bravos do tomorrow at White House Field?
You want to see a lot more of what they did in game 1 and less of game 2, but still bits and pieces you liked from game 2, and those were some good innings pitching, but you want to learn what you did wrong in those big 2 innings in game 2 and carry that over as a learning experience, and then carry that forward to combining with what you did in game 1, where you had great hitting and great pitching overall. And it's so easy to say, oh, you just do what you did in game 1, but I mean, Tristan Smith put together an all-time performance that not every pitcher can replicate every time they go out, so it's hard to do that. But just keeping everything manageable and not letting things spiral like they did, and for the offense to just kind of have, like Cam said, those consistent hits, consecutive hits, rather than just the one double and nothing advances anything further from there. But finding that consistency from start to finish to find a way to get some runs across, and maybe they'll get a full 9 at Harwich tomorrow.
Back in action tomorrow at White House Field against Harwich. First pitch at 6:30.